The Pulse of Spokane is a broad show that showcases many different things in our community, sponsored by Local 29 Firefighters Union, Well Dressed Walrus, and Homes for You.
Welcome back to the Pulse of Spokane. I'm your host, Mallory Carvin, and today our guest is Gordon Ritchie of INWorkHR.
Hi, Mallory.
Hi, nice to have you here.
Great to be here.
Yeah, having a lovely day so far.
Great. It's the perfect time of the summer. It's not smoky and it's perfect temperature.
I agree. It's been good so far. Good so far. So tell me a little bit about what INWorkHR is and what you guys do.
Yeah. So INWorkHR, we're a consulting company helping organizations across the Inland Northwest dispel some of the myths of HR. So HR gets a bad rap in most organizations. It's about payroll and benefits and hiring and firing people.
Right.
And there's so much more to helping people do their best work, learning and development, engagement, career, mobility. So really trying to open up some of those avenues with companies that don't necessarily have the time to focus on it themselves.
Well, that sounds wonderful. What are things like right now when we've seen so much job mobility and people out of work and people looking for work? How does INWorkHR kind of come in and help out during these times?
Yeah, it seems like it's been a bad time. Lots of people let go, furloughed, all those kinds of things, and that's huge. It's just incredible, the amount of dislocation. And what we're really trying to do for individuals as well as for organizations is understand the skills that they've got and how portable those can be. So we're doing skill assessments that might open up career paths that you haven't thought about as an individual, other ideas yourself to go and pursue different opportunities.
Nice.
And for organizations who are kind of trying to keep the lights on, help them understand really what the skills of their staff are so that they can make the most of who they've got in their workforce.
Yeah, really be able to utilize who's already within their company.
Yeah, it sounds like it's do more with less, which really it is, because right now everything has just changed, turned on a dime in terms of customers and business and where you find that kind of income for those organizations.
Definitely.
So it is a kind of do more with less, but if you don't know what people can do,
it's hard to do that.
Exactly. What do you do?
Right, I'm sure. So do you guys deal with a lot of data? What kind of products do you offer?
Yep. So we have a couple of products really around the services. So one is kind of personality or behavioral assessment.
Okay.
So how do we all get on?
Right.
We're not all suddenly going to be different, but how do we work with those of us that have different personalities, whether we're leading an organization or trying to work with a leader who's maybe a great technical expert, but not a great people manager. So that's one aspect, and that's more the kind of who we are, what are our abilities, what are our traits. And then the other is really much more of a hard skills assessment. So what can I do? Where am I on the scale of beginner to expert? And what does that look like? Exactly. Skills and competencies, that's really what that's focused on. Competencies can be the longest four-letter word in HR because lots of companies have tried it or they're scared of it and they don't want to go there again. So I try not to use competencies. It's like skills.
Skills. All right. Okay. I'm learning.
No, absolutely. But it comes up every time.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, what it could be an advantage for maybe a local business here in Spokane to partner with you guys and work with you guys?
Yeah. Great question. So I think we've gone through a lot of change, and so we're about to go through a whole change again as things start to open up, hopefully, as we start to bring the economy back. And,
Right.
and within Spokane, there's so much talent, whether it's freshly coming out of the universities that are phenomenal here, or just in the workforce. Knowing who you've got and what they can do, as you grow, you can be intentional about what you bring, who you bring on,
Right.
to plug those skills gaps. We hire a lot based on job descriptions,
Yeah.
and those, as part of the nobody likes HR, job descriptions can be pretty lousy about
Yeah.
what actually is done at the coalface.
Right. And what's expected.
Exactly. And so helping to set those expectations around, here's what I can do. Okay, well, let's have you do what you're good at.
Right.
As opposed to the list of 25 things on a job description that's not been looked at for 5 years.
Right. Or updated or, right, comes with surprises.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's always the line at the bottom that says, and any other duties as assigned.
Right. Which could mean anything.
Yeah, which is
Right.
usually 90% of what you do.
Right.
So
Right.
if we can
Ultimately.
be a bit more intentional about knowing what people can do when we bring them on, but also what we as a business or you as a business might need people
Right.
to do, then you can match. It's kind of like internet skills dating. Here's what I'm looking for.
Right.
Here's what you can do. Let's put them together.
Right. Recruiting and like
Absolutely.
the best person for the job.
Yep.
Right.
But with intention,
Yes.
because we could we're going to get so many more applications for vacancies now,
Yeah.
because there's just so many people looking
Out of work.
for anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, how did you yourself get involved in this kind of realm?
Yeah, it's a long path from the UK to Seattle to
Right.
Spokane. I've been in Spokane about 15 years now.
Yeah.
But I was working for a training company, so that was a lot of technical skills. And I just saw the importance of education and being focused on skills there.
Yeah.
And then through a series of startup companies that got bought, I ended up at IBM most recently
Yeah.
as part of their talent consulting business. And really focusing on skills, because if you have that skills language, that skills dictionary,
Right.
you can hire better, as you were saying. You can incentivize and engage people more in what's
Yeah.
expected of them. It's not a guessing game when it comes to the performance appraisal.
Absolutely.
We know what we're looking for.
Right.
And so it's been a journey of skills and skills assessments over the last 20 years for me to get here. And
Right.
looking around the region, I thought, well, that's something I can do that hopefully benefits a lot more people.
Yeah.
And I get to work from home as opposed to flying around the world to different customers for IBM.
Right. So did your world not change that much when things went into lockdown?
Not really.
Yeah.
Except I had people at home now working with me. So my
Right.
wife and daughter, and whether it used to just be me and the cats. And,
Yeah.
and so we had it down. But,
Right.
schooling, and my wife's a professor at Gonzaga, so
Yeah.
she was teaching from home. So I had colleagues that I didn't have
Right.
before.
Prior.
Yeah.
Interesting. Funny how that works.
Yeah,
Right?
I know, but it's all worked out.
Right? On it, obviously. I mean, sounds like you guys are kind of thriving and still doing your thing and a really important part of the job market right now, and a really important tool for business owners to
Yeah.
utilize. So if anyone wants to contact you, where can they find you? Do you guys have a website?
Yep, we have a website, which is INWorkHR.com. We have a Facebook page. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn. Yeah.
Great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Gordon.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Great. Well, it was lovely to talk to you.
Thank you, Mallory.
Yeah, thank you. Well, that concludes this episode of The Pulse, and thanks for watching.
When we opened the doors the first day, we started with a counter full of maybe a dozen selections of a dozen cupcakes. We sold out, and it just went crazy from there. I'm Sally. I run Sweet Frosting's Blissful Bake Shop downtown Spokane. It's almost 40 years of baking for me. We now do between 1,000 and 2,000 cupcakes a day. The variety of cupcakes is kind of like the variety of services that STCU provides for us. Since we opened this site in 2014, they've been our banker. We are producing for 4 stores right here, so we have 35 to 40 employees at any one time. There's an STCU close to virtually every one of my stores, and every time I get a new employee, that's the first place we send them. STCU is such a good fit. It's just so convenient for me to have them as neighbors. They are always so pleasant and always so helpful, and we have a lot of little needs. They've always been behind me 100%, so it's a good thing to have that partnership.
Here at River Ridge Hardware, we carry a great selection of Krylon brand spray paints, Color Master, a general purpose, the Rust Protector for taking care of metal, Fusion for taking care of plastics, and the Super Max that can take care of it all.
Thanks for watching. Ask the host a question, recommend a guest, or check out any of our other programs on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or SpokaneTalksMedia.com. Sponsored by Local 29 Firefighters Union, Well Dressed Walrus, and Homes for You.